Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EFG show. It is Thursday night. That means myself, Stephen Dutzman, the editor-in-chief of EngageFamilyGaming.com, and Jeff Walker from the Frozen North, one of our community managers, comes together and talks about all of the family video game news that is fit to bring to the airwaves. I appreciate everybody's patience tonight. Normally we go live around 9. Today it's around 9:30. We had some significant technical issues. Also, my daughter decided this week, really, that she's afraid of bugs, and so I had to go get rid of the bugs in her room. Otherwise, she would come down shrieking and terrified in the middle of the episode, and it would sound very terrible. So, thank you, everyone, for your patience. Jeff.
Yes.
So, it was busy this week. There was a lot of stuff that went down.
There was a lot of news.
Which is exciting. Lots of stuff for us to talk about. But before we do that, I want to talk about Splash Mountain. How cool is that? They're redoing Splash Mountain. This is apparently, we talked about this before the show. You said this has been long rumored. So like Disney experts like yourself, which I just outed you as a Disney expert, but Disney experts like yourself knew this was coming.
We didn't know it was coming. It was just rumored that, they've been thinking about changing it for a while.
Sure.
And this is what people wanted. And then an article I read today on D23, which is Disney's fan club, which surprisingly I'm not a member of, but like a paid member, but you can read their articles for free, said that they've been talking about this since last year. So,
I mean, it makes sense to me. I said it on Facebook in a couple of places. I think this is a best case scenario. Like, of all the properties to kind of like retrofit Splash Mountain to, this is the one that I think suits it the best. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be cool. Also, beignets.
I mean, you can already get beignets in Disney World.
It just means there's going to be a guaranteed spot to get them. And then ride on a water ride.
If you go to the right restaurant at a resort, you can get boozy beignets.
That would go poorly for me. Because I could put down some beignets. But so anyway, I thought that was a cool announcement today. They're retrofitting in both Disney World and Disneyland, which I think is interesting. And they're switching.
I don't know about the other parks because there are I believe Disneyland Paris also has Splash Mountain. So
they didn't explicitly state it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to find out. So at the very least, the ones in Disney World and Disneyland are getting switched over to Princess and the Frog. I think it makes a lot of sense.
And they do not know when they're going to start this. So for those of you worried that you may not get to ride their original incarnation, they have not announced when it will be starting. And when the parks open on July 11th and later for Disneyland, they actually just postponed it. Splash Mountain will be open.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things. I don't think it should take that long, because they're not changing the ride.
I think they'll do it during the winter, because Splash Mountain usually goes down for a few weeks for refurbishments in the winter anyway.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is, they can dress it up a little bit, but frankly, if they can turn the Tower of Terror into a Guardians of the Galaxy thing...
I don't want to talk about that.
If they can do that...
I know.
Which they did, because they can.
They did. They just better never do that to Tower of Terror at Disney World, because that is my all-time favorite ride, even though I love the Guardians of the Galaxy.
So, that's fair, but welcome to the EF Disney show.
Yeah.
But really, just wanted to talk about it. I thought that was an interesting little announcement today.
Yep.
I did not see as many people complaining about it as I thought I would. Obviously I did not read the comments on the original article. I was told not to. Generally, I only saw a few people, and really, they're people that just admit that like the ride the way it is and aren't attached to the characters. They just, don't like change. But they were going to have to rebuild the ride eventually anyway, homie.
Yep.
And it's not like they're exactly like bringing Song of the South out of the vault. So, may as well,
Yeah, I always thought it was interesting with how much Song of the South is kind of just you can't get it anywhere, and how that ride has stayed the same for 30 some years.
Yeah.
Because that ride came out in the 80s, which is surprisingly, it's not a Disney original.
Yeah.
it was already after Song of the South had some controversy, and I just want to know what went through their head when they decided to make a ride with
Yeah.
that theme.
I mean, I was always surprised that they didn't, because I watched Song of the South for a children's literature class that I took in college, and it was
Okay.
hard to find it. They had to find like 4 YouTube. This was actually in college. Was when I went back to school recently, and I had to find like 4 YouTube videos that each had different parts, and we were still missing a few pieces. And it was just like a big hassle to try and find it, just because that's the only place you could guarantee that everybody could get it. I'm sure that there are other places. Yeah. And a college can't recommend stealing it from the internet, obviously. So I always wondered why they didn't just like make a Brer Rabbit movie, like, and just not have like, just because the
I don't know.
the characters outside of like the live action part was a big part of the problem, and like they could have just made a Brer Rabbit movie and left out some of the really particularly bad stuff. They can figure it out, but they obviously don't want to. You know what they can do? They can have another thing full of characters from the South, and that is The Princess and the Frog. And I hope there are plenty of obnoxious, crazy fireflies just like all over the place. That'll be great. I think fireflies would look cool when it's a little darker, going over the edge. That could be fun. Anyway, video games. Jeff, you are one of the community managers for EngageFamilyGaming.com, and one of your primary responsibilities, you've given yourself a few more, and I keep trying to give you more, but your primary responsibility is you put together a release list every week full of video games that are rated T and below, and you post it on our Facebook page on Sunday mornings, and then that is cross-posted into a blog post on EngageFamilyGaming.com. Jeff, tell me, what video games came out this week?
Yeah, so this week on Monday, June 22nd, we had Sword and Sandal Spartacus for Switch.
Sure.
On Tuesday, June 23rd, we had Assetto Corsa Competizione for PS4 and Xbox One. It's a car racing game.
Sure.
Conjurer Andy's Repeatable Dungeon for Switch. Little Town Hero came to PS4.
Yep.
That was a Switch exclusive back in October. It was revealed 2 years ago as Town.
Yep.
And so it had mixed reviews. Pokemon Cafe Mix came to Switch. And then I also added in that it did also come to iOS and Android, so you can play it on your phone. I played a little bit this evening waiting for you to get on for this, and it's a game that I will play probably for the next 2 weeks and then forget it's on my phone.
Yeah, that's about right. It's fun.
I enjoy it. I played Pokemon Shuffle. It's a fun little game. I like the art style.
Yeah. It's cute, and you're right. I think this is one of those games that's going to resonate with a couple thousand people, and then they'll move on. So, What else we got?
It won't be one that I don't think I'll be paying money to get extra things.
Same.
And then also on Tuesday we had SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Yes.
And Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for PS4 and Switch. Wednesday, June... And about a month ago, I said Star Wars Episode 1 Racer came to Switch. That was before I knew it was delayed, so just thought I'd throw in that my mistake I made there. I think it was went out in May.
It'll all come out in your annual review.
Yep. Wednesday, June 24th, we had Ant Venture for Switch and Ninjala for Switch.
Hold on, I want to talk about Ninjala a little bit. Literally, my boys are to my left playing it as we speak. It looks pretty cool. It is worth mentioning, when Jenna first saw it, she was like, was this made by the people that made Splatoon? And I was like, no, it was not. Do they know about this game? Because it looks very Splatoon. The bright colors, the kind of weird urban atmosphere. Like, this just feels like a Splatoon game.
Yeah, and it looks like they're taking the Battle Pass approach with it.
They are. It's a free-to-play game with a battle pass. The battle pass is $10.
But it's $5 if you get it before July, somewhere between July 4th and 9th.
Yeah, we're going to wait until the 9th to decide.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow on my day off I will.
Give it a go.
Right.
They like it. The idea is some of the weapons are really dumb. Like you can fight with a yo-yo or a fidget spinner. There's a battle royale, which is like everybody versus themselves. There's a 5v5 mode. It is, it's melee combat based, and you're just a cute little ninja, and you fight with weird weapons. And Jake likes it because he can have blue hair.
Okay, I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, it's neat. It's very neat.
All right. Anything else on that?
Nope, that's it.
All right. And as I go on, this week was a big week for releases.
Yes, it was.
Like a lot of good names in here. Like I feel like we've had like one or two lately. It's been kind of dry, but this is a big week. Thursday, June 25th, we had Brigandine: The Legend of Runercia on Switch, which is a new tactical RPG. Dungeons 3 Completed Collection for PS4 and Xbox One. Grimshade for Switch. Midian Tower for Switch. Mr. Driller Drill Land for Switch. Pachi Pachi on a Roll for Switch. Ploid Saga for Switch. Poop D Chapter 1 for Switch. The Almost Gone for Switch. The Forgotten Land for Switch. The Messenger for Xbox One. And that is on Game Pass. If you have not played The Messenger, play it on Game Pass right now.
Yeah, you owe it to yourself. The Messenger is very, very good.
It's a great game. I 100% it. I did 100% the DLC, but the DLC is great as well. And the DLC is free. So you get the DLC with it. But it's such a great game. If I haven't played it before, it would have been my game pick of the week, but I wanted to go with something I haven't played since I have 100% The Messenger. Also on Thursday, we have Tawaga Amon Shadows for Switch, Tower of Time for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, Truck and Logistics Simulator for Switch, Unitide for Switch, Urban Trial Tricky for Switch, and Yes, Your Grace for Xbox One and Switch. And then on Friday, June 26th, we have A Summer with the Shiba Inu for PS4 and Switch.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's a dating simulator, but you're interested in people's dogs, so it's not really... it's a visual novel, and the story is about the dogs, and you meet different dogs along the way. According to the Switch page, it has like 10 different endings.
Yep.
So, if you like visual novels. Sudoku for Switch, it is literally just Sudoku on your Switch, and then Urban Flow for Switch. And I didn't put it on the list, but I just wanted to call out that there is a game for the grown-ups. I don't remember what day it came out this week. It might have been today, but Duke Nukem 25th Anniversary Edition came out today on Switch. And
That's
maybe
insane.
I know. I didn't put it on here because I didn't know how big it was, but then people are sharing it all over, so I thought, I guess more people care about Duke Nukem 3D than I thought. But yes, it is out, the 25th Anniversary Edition on Switch, and I'm maybe PS4 and Xbox One.
All right. That's Duke Nukem.
Yes. So I went with my pick of the week, and there's a lot to choose from. I was going back and forth, but I finally decided on SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I played the original back on the PS2. I don't think I owned it. My cousin was a huge SpongeBob fan, and he had it, but I played it, and I remember it being actually pretty fun on PS2, and so I don't think I'd buy it for $40, but this game will probably get down to less than $20 not too long from now.
Yeah, absolutely. This game's going to go on sale. I cannot in good conscience put my vote towards a SpongeBob game. I really don't like SpongeBob. I just don't like him, and I can't help it.
I mean, he came out when you were in high school, so...
Yeah, I guess that's maybe true. Yeah, I just don't like SpongeBob.
I was 11 when he came out, so...
Yeah, something like that. I'm good with SpongeBob. So With that said, I think I'm gonna have to give my pick of the week this week to Ninjala. It's a free-to-play game. My kids are playing it right now. They've actually really enjoyed playing it, and they can't wait for the EFG show to be done so that they can turn the volume back up and actually talk, because right now they're forced to play in silence. But yeah, that's my pick is Ninjala for the Nintendo Switch. Like I said, it is Splatoon with melee combat, and they're little ninjas. So, like, Naruto shenanigans. But they fight with really silly weapons like fidget spinners and yo-yos. Alright, so that's the release list.
Yes.
Oh, apparently, Kate, welcome back to the EFG show, Kate. She says her daughter Morgan used to be afraid of SpongeBob. Okay, I can't say that I was ever afraid of him, but I do not like him. But I can understand not being a fan, as I am not one. Okay, so let's get down to some of the news, Jeff. Let me sit up here a little bit because we got some work to do. I was leaning back.
Yes, a lot of stuff came out.
I was leaning back while I was sharing some of our stuff across the excuse me, across our various socials to let everybody know that the EFG show is live. So here we go. Min Min has been announced as the next character for DLC in Super Smash Brothers.
That was not who I thought it was going to be.
Who did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be... I didn't think it was going to be Springman because he's already an assist trophy.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be... I don't know. When I think of ARMS, I think of the next, kind of tier being like either Twintel or Ribbon Girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have played very little ARMS, but I follow enough Nintendo news. I'm a Nintendo fanboy to know the characters.
Yeah, I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be the obvious picks, which would have been Ribbon Boy and Ribbon Girl or whatever, or Springman and Ribbon Girl. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be them. There are some folks that are disappointed it wasn't Twintel, but what are you going to do? Min Min is hilarious because her arms are made of noodles.
Yes, and I don't know what I think of the stage. I feel like the stages of these DLCs have been not very exciting.
Yeah.
They've all been kind of just, battlefield with a few extra moving parts.
I mean, there's a lot of stages.
There are. I'm not saying that.
So I'm fine with mediocre stages. Like, at this point... if they released a character that didn't come with a stage, I wouldn't even be mad.
But they're all coming with a stage.
I know they are, and that's fine. So they just come up, like, if they all had the same stage, but they were just different skins, I wouldn't be mad. I'm really here for the characters.
Yeah, me too.
So, the soundtracks and the bips and bobs and all that stuff really aren't what matter to me. Like, they're bonuses, but even if it was just the characters added to the roster, I would still pay the price.
So it comes out on Tuesday or Monday next week.
Yes. And that's when you can start buying the pass. Well, you can already buy the pass, but, like, come on, guys, don't do that.
No, I don't see, especially something like that, there's no reason to buy early, so I will probably be buying the pass on Monday.
Yeah, then we download her.
And I can talk about how she fights next week if people want to hear. But
absolutely, we should. What's interesting about her is because she's an ARMS character, she attacks from long range, but she's not very good up close.
Yeah.
Which I love zoning characters. I was a Dalsim main in Street Fighter for a very long time. By the way, why was Dalsim not a guest character in ARMS? Like, who dropped the ball on that? Because let's be real, that would have been cool if they had. I feel like
Capcom, because Capcom drops the ball on everything lately.
Yeah, but that just feels like such a slam dunk. Like, could you imagine if they did a DLC pack for ARMS? Now, admittedly, maybe it was, like, white on the whiteboard if it was popular enough. Could you imagine if Mr. Fantastic and Dalsim were DLC characters in ARMS?
That would have been awesome.
Let's be real. And maybe Super Skrull, because he's stretchy, too. I'm getting crazy, but Dalsim just makes freaking sense. I don't know.
Yes.
ARMS failed, unfortunately, so it did not...
I am super excited to have the ARMS theme song.
Okay, the ARMS theme song is way better Kate says that she likes zoning characters. She uses Robin a lot in Smash. And the lot was, there's definitely emphasis on the lot, so my guess is quite frequently.
See, I'm more of an up close and personal fighter.
You're
when I
a rushdown
play.
guy? That's fine. Rushdown dudes are fine. Did you play Wolverine in Marvel vs. Capcom?
I never really played Marvel vs. Capcom.
Okay, so you would have played Wolverine because he's a rushdown character.
But my main in Smash for Ultimate, before Ultimate, it was always Marth and Lucina. Mm-hmm. And for some reason in Ultimate, I played as Donkey Kong every single time.
That's fine.
I think it's because when I did World of Light, I unlocked him early, and so I just kept using him. Got really good.
That's certainly fair. My main, and this is funny actually, but my main, as determined by the amount of Smash we had to play during our Extra Life stream last year, I am a Bowser main, 100%. Which is really funny, but also, he's like a big, like, fat, angry dad guy, so it works. It works. So, there you have it, Min Min for Smash. 5 more characters coming to that Battle Pass.
5 more characters. Who do you think they'll be? Any guesses?
I think the next one is going to be a Nintendo character also.
Okay.
But I think everything is on the table.
Yeah. We're getting a Kingdom Hearts game on Switch now, so...
We are. I still can't believe it. I mean, it's possible. Listen, you know what? Everything is possible. Except for Goku. Everything is possible except for Goku.
But he'd probably be the only DLC character where I would let out an audible groan.
It's not possible. He has been said he will not be in. Now, what's interesting is Min Min was a spirit.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I was going to mention that. So that has debunked the rumor that spirits cannot become characters.
Correct. And there were a lot of people that kind of ruled different characters out because of their spirit status.
Makes sense. There's over 1,300 spirits in the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, it makes sense that they would kind of not cut themselves off.
And I know a lot of people want, I think, Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 4. And people were getting really disappointed because right after Byleth was announced, they did a special Resident Evil 4 spirit event and created a bunch of new Resident Evil 4 spirits.
Yeah, I remember that.
So now, people can think, oh, he's back on a chance.
Listen, there are no rules. Except for the fact that Goku will not be in there. It'll be very interesting to see. I'm excited. 5 more characters. That means we get this kind of build-up 5 more times.
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Smash hype is my favorite kind of hype.
Yeah. I think whoever the next character is doesn't mean anything to me. I want to know who the final DLC character is. Yeah. Here's the thing. The final... Because this appears to be the last one, right? So, like... The final DLC character has to be someone who is so off the wall and so interesting.
Off the wall, or someone people have been hoping for?
You mean like Waluigi?
I'm not thinking Waluigi, but though that would be hilarious. Just because if that's the case,
like Zemo?
I want a live reaction from you.
I hope it's not freaking Waluigi. You mean like Zemo or whatever from Super Mario RPG? Like that kind of thing? What's his name?
Gino. I'm like, I have no idea. Gino from...
I don't know. Gino.
That one I don't know because they do have the Mii outfit, which Vault Boy is technically in Smash now.
Yeah, that was weird.
And they also announced that... So when you fight the spirits, so for example, Cuphead, you fight, Mega Man because, one of my favorite things to see is how they created all these characters using, the roster they have and the different rules. It's so much fun seeing like how a spirit's created because I just love doing it. And they announced that if you have bought any of the DLC outfits, they will now appear in your spirit battle. So if you have the Cuphead outfit, Cuphead will appear during the Cuphead spirit battle.
I mean, that is cool. That is cool. There's
That
no
is
way around it. Okay, so that's enough about Smash. We can
Yes.
talk about Smash for hours. Next, how about some Pokemon news? So last week they had a Pokemon Presents video. It was about 11 minutes long, and they announced some games. We talked about them on the last EFG show. But one of the things they did is they said that there was going to be another Pokemon Presents on the 24th, right?
Just remember, their wording was another one on the 24th because it is too big of an announcement to put last
Yeah,
week.
they made a really big deal.
And I think that was their first downfall right there for what they.
Um, I'm gonna disagree. But let's deliver the news straight,
Okay.
and then we'll do the commentary later. So they said they were gonna do another video because it was too big of an announcement. Then a week goes by. Here we are. It is Tuesday, and the video goes live. And it is a game called Pokemon Unite, which is more or less League of Legends with Pokemon. Like,
Yep.
it's a MOBA with Pokemon. You play Pokemon, they evolve mid-match. You catch wild Pokemon, and then you dunk those wild Pokemon in scoring zones, which are where the flags would be, or the towers would be in a traditional MOBA. Your opponents can attack your score markers, which means that if they attack it, then that means you don't have a place to score. You might have to go all the way home, which takes a lot of time. I think this is brilliant. I think this is super smart. It's a free-to-start MOBA, but all MOBAs are free to start. And it is League of Legends with Pokemon is an incredibly smart move. It's going to be on the Switch and mobile. This thing's going to sell like crazy.
I'm not saying it's not a smart move, and I've never really gotten into MOBAs, but I'll try this one out. And I think my problem with MOBAs is I just don't have any attachment to. There's so many characters in all the different MOBAs, and I don't have any attachment to these characters. And now I can have an attachment because I know who these characters are.
Well, but you have attachment to these characters.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I know who these characters are, so I'll feel like I have an attachment to, why I'm choosing one over another, not just because of how they look, but which ones I enjoy. Or, I feel like this should have just been tacked on to last week's presentation. I mean,
I think they probably could have. Had they put this in there and had it gone Pokemon Smile, and then, had they finished with Pokemon Snap and just done this and just done a 20-minute long Pokemon thing, I don't disagree with you. I think that there would have been a lot of, not necessarily my thing, but check out Pokemon Snap. Whereas now, there's a lot of people that are like, oh man, it's not a full-fledged Pokemon role-playing game. How can I possibly enjoy this? And my answer to them is maybe it's not for you, but this is a Pokemon MOBA. This thing is going to go crazy. It's being published. They're working with Tencent, which means it is going to be on mobile in China. This is going to go crazy. My wife, who I don't know where she is, I think she's upstairs, has a comment. She says it's going to make money. Kids who want to play MOBA, but their parents won't let them now can. You know how she doesn't like Smite. Well, she likes Smite, but she struggles with Smite because of the way the women dress, which is fair. We don't have that problem with the female costumes in Pokemon because they're all Pokemon. So, MOBA stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. And so basically, and thank you for asking that, Kate. I was speaking in jargon and didn't explain it. So basically, here's how MOBAs work, like on a higher frame level. We'll talk about how they work mechanically, and then we'll talk about the money part. The way a MOBA works is you have two teams. They're always team-based. They play on a fixed map. Usually that map stays the same and maybe changes from season to season, but for the most part, it stays the same. The idea is you have a series of heroes that all start in their base, and the idea is they need to in general, break their way to their opponent's base. And there's a series of lanes, literally lanes, usually at, like a top and a bottom and a mid. And there are a series of towers on these lanes. And usually there are creeps, which are basically like trash mobs that walk in groups and in lines. Minions. They're just garbage monsters that walk from one end to the other, and eventually they attack each other in the middle if you leave them alone. You play as a champion, and your idea is you need to kind of defend your creeps, beat up your opponent's creeps, and eventually you need to get into a position where you can actually attack their towers, because the towers are really what hold the creeps back. And it's kind of like an area control thing. And the idea is, as you are killing these monsters and as you are killing towers, you are building up resources. Generally, so like in Smite, you gain experience, but you also gain money, which you can then use to buy potions to heal yourself, but you can also buy equipment and upgrade your skills, and so on and so forth. So in Pokemon Unite, you start as a level 1 character, and so you choose the various Pokemon, and you go about, and there are wild Pokemon all throughout the map. And the idea is you defeat them using your very basic attacks in the beginning, you capture them, and then you basically bring them to where the towers would be in your game, and slam dunk them in and earn points. And so the game is set with a fixed time, and it's whoever has the most points wins. Couple of things about Pokemon Unite that I really like compared to other MOBAs that I have played. The biggest one is each match has a fixed time limit. That's awesome for two reasons. One, every game has the same amount of time, right? It is reliable. That makes it pretty good from an esports perspective, because there are matches of Dota and League of Legends and Smite that could theoretically go on for an hour or longer, because it's two teams of evenly skilled players, or that are not presenting weaknesses that their opponents can capitalize on. And those games can really just go on for a very, very long time. And sometimes that's really exciting, but other times it can be really frustrating. Having a fixed set of time means that you can watch a match, and you can watch X number of matches, etc., over Y amount of time. I think it's also good because this game is going to be definitely going to attract kids. And a game with a fixed time period where you can say, okay, honey, you can play 2 games, and we know what that means, right? I can tell my kids, you've got 2 games. I think each match is like 4 minutes long. So let's say you can play 3 games. That's like 12 minutes. Let's just round up to 15 for like in-match queuing and stuff like that. That's pretty awesome, right? And so I really, really dig that fixed time thing. It's Pokemon. I love the Pokemon brand. I think it is perfect for a MOBA. There are 900-something Pokemon. And even if you cut it down to the Pokemon that are like evolutions of each other, right? Like, Pikachu and then Raichu and whatever. Because Pokemon evolve. So you start with Charmander, and then you get Charmeleon, and then you get Charizard. Like, that's one Pokemon. And so even if you count the ones that are like 3 as just one, there's still hundreds of them. And that actually creates a bit of a different strategy, right? Like, because if you pick Snorlax doesn't evolve. Right? Unless you start as Munchlax, but like that's a different thing. They haven't shown us that. So,
the battle they did, the person just started as Snorlax.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we don't know. They might add a mechanic later on where instead of picking Snorlax, you might be Munchlax. They might have had Snorlax just to be hype. We don't know. Like, things could change. But even if they were like, you know what, we're going to start the game with 100 characters, that sounds awesome to me. And I think that's great. This is a game that MOBAs are the kind of game that every couple of months they can add a new character, and they can do that with Pokemon forever. And MOBAs are also really about skins. From a money perspective, this game is definitely going to have a battle pass. That's just the model that is appropriate for this. But if it doesn't, for some reason, generally with MOBAs, you earn 2 types of currency, like a premium currency that you use to buy characters, and then a non-premium currency that you earn in-game, which you can use to buy skins and other kinds of cosmetic items. I think this is absolutely perfect for skins. Remember Pikachu with all his weird party hats?
Yep.
Lucha
Pikachu, Lucha
Libre Pikachu. Now, admittedly, a lot of those costumes have been on him, but we have shinies. I think it's absolutely likely that you'll be able to spend in-game currency to have your Charmander be a shiny. That just makes perfect sense to just spend a bunch to upgrade him. Hats. I think most Pokemon can wear hats. Most of them have heads. So, I think that is a way they're going to do it. And the way they have you unlock characters is there are certain characters that are always free. So my guess is they could give you, Pikachu and Charmander and Blastoise and, whatever. Like, there could be, 5 guys that are just, everybody gets them no matter what. And then they'll have a free rotation, which is every week or 2 weeks or whatever, they'll rotate in other characters. And then what you can do is you earn slowly over time this premium currency, or you can buy it, and that lets you unlock characters that you want. Smite did something interesting where they actually let you just buy in for $30 and you get all the characters. And I could imagine that they might do that with Pokemon also.
That sounds like something they would do.
Where it's like you can have all the characters now and all the future characters as they are released. We get another comment from my wife upstairs. She said she likes the fixed time. I agree. I can absolutely guarantee that this is a game that we will be streaming, that we will be making YouTube videos of. There is no question that we're going to get involved in talking about and covering this game. I have wanted a MOBA for us to get involved in as a site, and for a while it was Smite because I actually really like that game, but that game is somewhat problematic just from some of the character models, and Dota and League are famously toxic. And every other MOBA just falls flat on their face. I have a feeling that this game will be around for a while, so we will be covering it and talking about it and writing guides for it. EFG is going to be all in on Pokemon Unite.
Yep, and it's coming out for your Switch and your smartphone, and they do have crossplay.
Exactly, and I think that's one of my favorite parts on this. So absolutely, expect lots of videos with me in the corner from this perspective, playing Pokemon Unite, because we will be streaming and making YouTube videos, etc. I am all in for that game. So, that was Pokemon Unite. A lot of people were disappointed. I think in the long run, that disappointment will go away. This game's going to make bank, and a lot of people are going to be very happy with it. Speaking of games that people are kind of disappointed in, is Avengers, which is coming out this September from Square Enix. We had a War Table video, of which there will be several more throughout the summer. They shared some details. Mostly, they shared how combat works. They shared how the individual story missions work. They showed how gear works. It works just like any other third-person action RPG. Jeff?
It looked fun. I mean, it got me more hype than the E3 video from last year did.
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna play this game.
Me too.
Because
I already have it pre-ordered.
So here's the quick rundown of what they explained. Is there's going to be a story campaign, which I'm actually excited for, because I'm interested to see.
And they're going to release new parts of the story over the next 2 years.
Yeah, they said the story is going to be very long. This is going to be laid out over a couple of years. I'm very excited to see that.
I assume introducing new characters, because last year at E3 they introduced Ant-Man was part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And later, last summer, they introduced Marvel Girl Kamala Khan.
Yep.
And you got a little bit more of her during this one. But, I don't think they're part of the original story, and so their parts will come at different times.
So Kamala Khan is part of the main story.
Okay, Marvel Girl is, but Ant-Man is going to be an extra.
Because there are 2 games that we're playing, more or less. There's 2 games that we're playing. There's the story mode, which is single player, and you are playing through a series of story missions as various Avengers and Kamala Khan, and maybe somebody else over time, which is all about dealing with AIM, right? And which they're the villains. AIM and MODOK are the bad guys right now. What'd you say?
I just said and MODOK. You said MODOK right before I did.
Yeah, and MODOK. So so there's that, and then there is the war zones, which are cooperative missions where you have matchmaking, where you basically get into a Quinjet with 3 other players, and you can choose costumes and loadouts and emotes and change heroes and build a team and go take on these huge challenges. And I think that looks fun. I'm just here for Vision, guys. Like, I'm just waiting for them to put Vision in. And
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, and I'm just gonna tell people, if you don't know who MODOK is, look him up. He is an interesting Marvel villain. He is an old Marvel villain from the '60s.
Well, the thing about MODOK is MODOK has always been like the mini boss on the way to Doctor Doom or something like that. Like, this is cool that he's getting top billing. I do love me some. I love the idea of punching MODOK in the face. He got a big face, so I am very excited
Yes.
about that.
And his name is an acronym that stands for Mechanized Organism Designed Only for Killing.
And it's true. He was a character in Marvel versus. He was a well loved character in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So if you want to see some of the chicanery that MODOK is capable of, watch some Marvel vs. Capcom 3 streams. You'll see it. Kate coming from the chat saying she loves MODOK.
And there's a rumor that there's a Hulu show that's going to be coming out with him.
Doesn't surprise me. MODOK is a villain that deserves a place in the. Yeah, I mean, I think MODOK would be cool in the MCU or whatever, but I don't know if we're gonna get that. But this is gonna be fun. A lot of people are really disappointed because it looks kind of dull. Kate gives us some fun facts. He started as MODOK with a C, a machine organism designed only for computing. And then he made a little switcheroo and turned into a crazy bad guy. So anyway, so that's the Avengers. There's a lot of folks on the internet that are being a little down on it. I'm not ready to fight them. But listen, I'm here for the Avengers. One thing I really like about it is there's no battle pass, there's no DLC package. All of the characters and additional war zones and story content is going to release completely for free.
And I love that they have different outfits for the Avengers throughout their history, though they did add in there that you will only be able to get some by paying for them.
Okay, so there's going to have an in-game store for skins. I'm okay with that. I mean, listen, they got to make money somehow. And as long they're not charging me for DLC, they're not going to charge us for the new heroes that are added to the Warzone. We know that there are going to be a lot of Avengers added. Just give me Vision, Square Enix. That's all I want. That's all I want. So that's Avengers.
I just want the Guardians. Can they be?
No, because they're not Avengers. I mean, that's not true. Everybody's been an Avenger. Let's be real.
Everybody's been an Avenger at some time.
Wolverine has been an Avenger. So, yeah. So, like, Namor has been an Avenger. Although, fun fact, Namor has been an X-Man also. So, how about that for some weird shenanigans? I think he might currently be an X-Man. I don't know anymore. No, comic books are weird. So, there was an Expo. It was a large video event that happened this week. Jeff, you watched it. I watched it also. It's called the New Game Plus Expo, and holy crap, was it anime.
There was a lot of anime.
There was so much anime. Many of those anime games, definitely not for EFG. No. The new funniness in our house is when Evan and I are watching a press conference and a game comes up that is very much not appropriate for us, he'll yell, "EFG game, let's go!" And then we laugh because it's like, nope, it's Headshot Central or Women with No Clothes or something like that. Jeff, what did you take away from that show that you think is appropriate for our audience?
Ys 9 is coming out. That's cool.
This is true.
He's 9. Trails of Cold Steel 4 looks really cool. A podcast I listen to, the Switch Mania Playcast, one of the guys on there is a huge fan of Trails of Cold Steel. If you don't know what it is, it's an RPG series on the started out on the PS4, PS3 and PS4, and 3 is supposed to be coming out next month to Switch. It's already out on PS4, and 4 will be coming out to both of them. And I hear they're really good. The only problem is that I guess there is an overlying story that it's better if you play the first 2 before you play 3 and 4, but the first 2 have not been said if they're coming to Switch yet.
This is my plan. I'm gonna play Trails of Cold Steel. I am just gonna read a Wikipedia to get caught up on the story.
Okay.
I'm just gonna play whatever the newest one is. I am a busy man. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah,
I ain't got time to get caught up on these 100-hour RPGs. I ain't got time for that.
All 50+ hour RPGs, and so he did say when I tweeted at him, when he replied to me, he did say that you can start at 3 if you and as he said, just look things up.
Yeah, exactly, which is my plan. Allison Schmitz, one of the EFG show regulars. Welcome back to the EFG show, Allison. She said, "Would you let your daughter play the anime game?" I'm not sure what just happened.
So, my internet just decided to hit. But I don't know when I got cut off, but he did say you can start at Trails of Cold Steel 3. It's just look up what's happening. He goes, just the ending of the series where these characters have gone might not have as big of an impact.
I played Kingdom Hearts, and I played Final Fantasy VII Remake. I am fully okay with games not making a lot of sense. So I'm okay with catching up in the middle. Your friend Allison, Jeff, a EFG show regular, welcome back to the EFG show, Allison, once again. She said, "Would you let your daughter play the anime game?" I would let her play anything that I would let my boys play, at least at the appropriate times. She's 7, so it's a little bit different. But that is a good question, and that is definitely something that I take into account when we talk about some of the games that we talk about here. Admittedly, we do talk about rated T games, which are different. I would not let my 7-year-old daughter play most T-rated video games regardless.
Yeah.
However, when she's 13, I would probably let her play the same games that I let Evan, just because...
Yeah, and mine's a little different, Allison, because mine is 4, and the most we've ever gotten is actually a couple of weekends ago, we played Super Mario Party, and she won.
Well, I mean, she got you.
It's complete. If that doesn't prove how random Mario Party is, I don't know what will. Because, she won. She did not win a single minigame unless she was on someone's team. She had no idea. The only thing she liked was that when it was her turn to roll the dice, she liked doing the fist pump into the air.
Listen, I fist bump in the air. So I hope that answers your question, Allison. I don't differentiate the games that I would play for my kids based on, whether my son or my daughter. For me, it's all about their maturity level.
Yeah.
And
a lot of time these anime RPGs are a little more on the mature side. I assumed, as I said, I have not... Alexis loves Super Mario Party. She's happy she had something to say. She's been telling me I've been waiting for something to say that I understood. So thank you, Alexis.
Alexis, welcome to the EFG show. Thank you for watching. Is that another of your coworkers?
That's another one of my coworkers, yes.
Listen, if we just get your entire office watching the show, I'm certainly okay with it. All right, Allison says we covered it. Hopefully we didn't cover it too much. I don't like to ramble, but...
as I said, a lot of these RPGs they're a lot of reading intensive.
Yeah.
And so, I assume Maggie's not old enough to really, besides Pokemon...
you know
probably
what?
just even getting to the age that she's just now being able to kind of understand Pokemon.
She just finished the last gym in Pokemon Shield, actually.
Okay.
She is very close to being done with Pokemon Shield, which is pretty impressive, I think. I think she has just a few more tasks to do before she rolls credits. She is she wants a Cubfu real bad. Like, I don't think I can really put into words how much she wants a Cubfu. So, and I think she's going to get a Cubfu and not finish the DLC because I think she doesn't want to evolve that guy because she wants a little teddy bear monster. So anyway, so that is, so what other games did you see at the New Game Plus Expo that you thought were worth taking a look at?
Ten and Kuna looked really cool. Looked like a 3D platformer.
Okay.
They showed more information about Billion Road, which is a game that already came out. It's kind of like Fortune Street.
Okay.
Plus, I think it was my pick of the week whenever it came out for Switch. That looked fun. I think it wasn't really anything new. I just think the game looks really fun, and I'll get it sometime because I'm a nerd and like those type of games. But really, I mean, the other two games that kind of interest me are definitely not family friendly.
Yeah, I did notice that in quite a few cases, but that's okay.
I mean, a lot of them were but it's just they weren't. Like Harvest Moon. I have decided that farming simulators are not for me.
You have, and that's okay.
I tried Stardew Valley. I got played about 4 hours and got bored. And as you said, you always think you like Stardew Valley, but always think you're doing something wrong.
So I restart every time.
Yeah, so I just decided that game's not for me. Though I do remember really liking the Game Boy Advance Harvest Moon, but...
Well, here's the fun fact about Harvest Moon games. So, Harvest Moon used to be made by one team. It has since started to be made by a team as part of Natsume. The original team that made Harvest Moon actually makes games under the brand Story of Seasons, which is... they are also making games, and there's a Story of Seasons Mineral Town, I believe, is coming out later on this year, and so that I'm actually quite excited for.
One.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't.
Either way,
quote.
It looks very good. I'm very excited about that. So, what I would encourage people, if you love some anime games, and you didn't know this happened, and you want to take a look at it, I would encourage you to look up the New Game Plus Expo 2020, and you will see it. The one game that I want to bring up, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2, which is a NES/SNES style Castlevania game, and it's straight up Castlevania game, and there's a dude wearing train armor. I'm not even making it up, guys. He's wearing train armor. Just legit train armor. So that's New Game Plus Expo. Very cool, very exciting. Okay, next, Jeff, you want to take a nap? Because we're going to talk about World of Warcraft for a second.
Yeah, but I'll just go.
Just zone out. Why don't you go share the EFG show to wherever you share it? So, World of Warcraft Shadowlands is the next expansion for the decades old almost. Well, I think it's almost 18 years, something like that. It's crazy. Massively multiplayer online role-playing game. It's going to be its 6th expansion. There's been a lot. And Shadowlands has yet to be given a release date, although they said something about 2020. There was a live stream that was planned in the beginning of June, which they obviously delayed because obvious reasons, along with just about everything else in the game industry. But they've rescheduled that live stream for July 8th. So, two things that are important about that. One, if you play World of Warcraft, or at the very least, there's a lot of people that are interested in World of Warcraft, even if they don't play it. Like, what are they doing with the world and the lore and, whatever. That live stream is happening. The other key is, starting shortly after that, we have another podcast coming. Myself and one of my World of Warcraft guildmates, Dana Brown, who is a friend of the EFG community. She was a community manager for us for a little while she lived closer to me. She and I are going to be doing a World of Warcraft podcast every other week. We're going to be talking about patches, and we're going to get into weeds, guys, because I like to nerd out about WoW, and I can't do that with Jeff because he falls asleep. Because he's a coward.
I've never played WoW.
He can't play WoW. He's a coward.
I don't have a computer to run it, and I'm afraid of what would happen if I got it.
Oh, you would definitely fall into a hole. You absolutely would fall into a hole, and your wife would kill you. And so,
Yeah.
and Alexis and Allison would make fun of you. That's what would happen. At least that would be what I'm guessing. And it wouldn't be mean-spirited mockery. Like, knowing, I don't know Alexis very well, but I'm guessing, that it would be good-hearted. But they would definitely tease you a bit. So yeah, we are looking for suggestions for a World of Warcraft podcast name, if you happen to have one, because we are still trying to figure that out. Because wouldn't you know, a lot of them are taken by podcasts who only did like 3 or 4 episodes and then stopped. So that's no fun.
How about Words of Warcraft?
Yeah, I've got it. Words of Warcraft.
Dude, literally the two of you just said the same thing. I don't know. We'll think about it, guys.
I don't either. I'm gonna go with he was being very mature for his age, and I.
We're
coming up with that.
We're gonna come up with something. So that'll be a thing. World of Warcraft Shadowlands. The basic story is Sylvanas, the Banshee leader of the Forsaken, ripped off the Lich King's crown and broke it in half, and shattered the barrier between the worlds of the living and the worlds of the dead. And so all of the heroes of Azeroth are going to go into literal afterlife, and we're going to go to hell and heaven, and it's going to be weird. And we're going to find out all sorts of details, and it's going to be neat. So that's World of Warcraft. Let's talk about the Steam summer sale, bro.
All right.
It's time. I'm going to bring up my handy-dandy Steam app, and we're going to...
I know Sonic Generations is $1 right now.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not even sure it's worth $1.
For a Sonic game, it is probably the best 3D Sonic game.
High praise. It's the best Sonic game.
And it's better than any Crash Bandicoot game, which I guess we can throw in there that Crash 4 got announced.
Yeah, Crash 4 got announced. Yeah, so if you're excited about Crash Bandicoot, you got a sequel. You know what?
If you're excited about Crash Bandicoot, you're also watching the wrong show, because neither of us are.
You know what? I'm happy for Crash fans. All like 5 of you. And that's cool. Those 5 people are going to have one heck of a video game, it appears.
Yeah.
I can't...
It's just not good. Last year, I bought the Insane Trilogy for my Switch, and I was playing the original, and like even with the remaster, it's not a good platformer. I hate anyone who says it is wrong. And if you want to say it's a product of its time, someone tried to argue that it was a product of its time. I'm like, no, it came out after Super Mario 64. It came out around the same time as Spyro, both superiorly better 3D platformers. So I don't even use the excuse that it's a product of its time, because other people found out how to make it good. And sorry, I'm going on a tangent right now, but Insane Trilogy came out in 2017, 2018, and so it was a remaster, a remake, so they could have still made it better. I'll get down my soapbox.
You gonna be okay? You gonna be all right? Do you need any more?
No, that was just my...
Do we need to talk about something? Are you okay? Because I'm kind of worried.
I feel like I don't go on tangents anymore very often, because I'm usually happy about everything announced, but I needed to go on this Crash Bandicoot tangent because...
It's fine. I will allow it. Okay, so I'm looking at the lists. So, all right. So here are some of the, let's see here, featured video game sales. I'm trying to see what we can find here that is of particular note. And my Steam app is running like garbage. How about Civ 6 for $15? Goodness gracious.
That's good. I mean, that's not a great sale, because it comes down to that on Switch a lot, so...
But on PC, this is on PC,
yeah.
Which is where you're supposed to play Civ games.
Yes.
It's $15, that's just absurd. Let's see here. Cat Quest, which is... That's
a good game.
Really good, is $4.
Definitely worth $4. I think I bought it when it was $6.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
was worth $6, so...
And I think another quietly important game is Cities Skylines for $7.50.
I tried to play that on Xbox One or PS4 when it was free. I could. It's very. If you really like sim games, it is very like advanced in my eyes. I could not figure anything out.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. So there are lots of games on sale. So I would encourage everybody that uses PCs to make sure you go head on over and take a look at the summer Steam sale. One of the things they're doing is if you spend $30, you get $5 off. So, and that's, you buy a bunch of games, knock it down to $25. This is, your kids are home. You're looking for some stuff for them to play. You could fill up your PC with a bunch of games, and for $25, and it would be a pretty good deal. So, and there are new sales every day. So this is one of those. Keep checking back. Keep looking at it. It's very cool. So Jeff, would you believe it if I told you that was one more episode of the EFG show?
We want to talk about the Animal Crossing stuff real quick?
Oh, crap. How did I forget about Animal Crossing?
I just thought of it. So.
We didn't even put it on the list. Oh, my Lord.
But, I mean, in our defense, that was announced today.
Today has been a day. Animal Crossing New Horizons Phase 1 of the Summer DLC is coming.
You can swim now?
They're opening up the ocean. You can swim in the ocean. And you can jump off the rocks.
Yep, and you can catch starfish in the water, and an otter comes for your
scallops,
scallops, something. And Gulliver's wearing red.
Nope, Gulliver is a pirate now.
Gulliver's a pirate now. Oh, but he was wearing red, so I was right too.
Yeah, he's red, but he's wearing a pirate coat. So he has a new Gulliver mission, and so you can find. So you can basically, it opens up the ocean, so basically it creates a whole bunch more space that you can go find resources, find stuff that you can sell, which I think is super cool. It's more stuff that you can do every day, and a whole new set of underwater creatures that you can capture and donate to Blathers, which means, here's what's interesting, they added a new region that you can go to, right? That means that you can't get the spring stuff. So, because spring has already passed. Yeah. So if there are things that you can only find in the ocean during the spring, you have to wait until next spring to get it. Which I think is... Go ahead.
Or cheat.
That doesn't happen in my world.
That doesn't happen in my world either. I haven't played Animal Crossing in like a month, so I need to go, and I'll probably play this for a little bit on July 3rd when it comes out.
Yep. So, my daughter, I showed my daughter this morning, and she lost it. You can jump, you can swim. Oh my goodness, you can swim just like in New Leaf. Oh my goodness, you can turn the scallops into DIY patterns for all sorts of mermaid stuff. And she is going to have a mermaid room. We got a comment from the chat. Holly Johnson says, off topic, but she loved Minecraft dungeons. She loves a good dungeon crawl, and she loves Minecraft. It's a match made in heaven. She can't wait for the expansion. Holly, you're right. Minecraft Dungeons is it's one of those games where we got a whole setup just to try and capture video of this. We're waiting for my oldest.
I still need to play it.
Yeah, me too.
What are we waiting for me to do?
Minecraft Dungeons, so we can make YouTubes of it.
I'm waiting for the game to be much less buggy.
The only issue with it is that it's a little buggy right now. So Evan has kind of taken some time off of it because it's a little buggy, but it is very, very good, and it is a match made in heaven. You know, baby's first Diablo. I'm in. So that is Minecraft Dungeon. And Holly, never feel bad for throwing off-topic stuff in the chat. You don't know me personally, but I am the king of tangents, so I love to just go off wildly. So, Holly, don't feel bad about that at all. Feel free. Just throw random crap at us. We can handle it. I promise. So, yeah, this is cool. Now, what's really interesting about this is at the end of August, we're going to see another DLC pack.
Yeah,
like another phase.
So it didn't even say the end of August; it just said in August.
I thought it said the end. It didn't. Okay,
no, I
cool.
think it just said coming in August.
Okay, cool. So the background was fireworks. So my question is, like, are they going to do fireworks then? Even though it's August, so it's like technically past firework time, at least in...
Well, the problem is, and I haven't really ever played a lot of Animal Crossing games, but they don't really do 4th of July because it's a Japanese-made game.
True.
So they do like the Harvest Festival. They put that in for us Americans.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick Google. Japanese holidays in August.
I mean, you're right. You're right. It'll be interesting to see.
Mountain Day is August 10th. I don't know how
they
big
do
of
fireworks on Mountain Day?
I don't know. But
well, we will find out.
It's Monday, August 10th.
So the beginning of August, we got a new DLC pack. I am very excited for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. My daughter lost her mind and fell in love with this game all over again. So it's super cool watching my kids. My sons have both, Jacob has really fallen in love with Fortnite and has always been that way. When they make new announcements, he gets really hype about them. Evan is like me, he gets hype about a lot of stuff, but especially Pokemon. It's great to finally see a game that my daughter is, like, super all in on. And Animal Crossing is definitely that game for her. So that has been a lot of fun.
On August 7th, they have the Star Festival, so...
All right, well, I mean, there's lots of options. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But either way, we know we're getting DLC. We're getting another wave of free content updates coming at the end of the summer. So, yeah, we did it, Jeff.
We did it.
So that was, everybody, thank you very much. Maggie definitely flexes with her shark room. She caught a shark the first day you could catch sharks, and rather than turning it in, she put it in her basement. And then she made custom tiles.
Is that 7-year-old girl's dream to have a shark in their basement?
Yeah, but listen, she made custom floor tiles that say flex on them with your shark room.
This is flex with your shark.
So,
She called her flex with her shark room.
so it's bananas what she has done. So everybody, thank you very much for listening and watching. Jeff and I really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as, well, you're not even listening, you're watching. Hope you enjoyed watching as much as Jeff and I enjoy recording. This is a special treat for the two of us to get together and talk about video games, and it makes it all that much better that you guys are here with us. My humble request, share this out with as many people as you can, because a bigger audience for us every week just means, we might get to talk about bigger stuff and maybe even get some guests on here and things like that. So in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great week. We will see you soon. And until next time, don't forget
To get your family game on.
We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.